Welcome to another segment of Manifest with SII Power with your host, Dwight Lee. And on this segment, we're going to be talking about game changing information, right? Concepts, philosophies, and principles, right? In order to succeed, you got to live the philosophy. You have to apply the concepts, integrate the concepts, implement the concepts, appropriate the concepts, right? A principle works for all people in all places at all times. It's not aware of, where you grew up, your age, how long you've been struggling. It doesn't know none of that. But before we go deeper into this, if you've been enjoying the channel, you've been getting great value out of the channel, please subscribe to the channel by hitting the subscribe button. And don't forget to like and comment on your favorite video. Also, the thumbs up helps with the algorithm, helps people find the channel and get exposure to this content. Let's jump right into it. So I want to talk about some books. Let's talk about Think and Grow Rich first, right? Because this book, right, I've been reading this book since, I don't know, 95, October 95, right? So the book tells us if you're dealing with money, think and grow rich, right? The secret is hidden in the title. But it gives you, if you've really read the book, it gives you a strategy on how to deal with money. And so I question whether people have really read the book or not, because I've been reading it so long. And every time I read, I still read chapters periodically, or I might just read the whole book. But the point that I'm trying to make is that every time I read that book, I see something that I didn't see before. I hear something that I didn't hear before. So we have people that have read the book one time, two times, three times, four times, five times, saying they've read that book, but they haven't read that book. In particular, let's talk about money. It gives you a specific plan of action, a strategic, the practical and the tactical on what to do and how to manifest money. But you have thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people that proclaim to have read this book, and they still have all these money challenges. So I question, did they skip over that part of the book? Or, they say when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. So were they just reading over that book like it's just some regular book? Because Think and Grow Rich is not a regular book. It's not a normal book. Like, it's a book that had 500 people interviewed, including Andrew Carnegie. So you cannot interpret that book like you read, a Dr. Seuss book or, one of your science fiction books or whatever. I'm just trying to get this across to you, because go back to that book. It points out that if you think that money comes by hard work alone, perish the thought. And it begins to expound upon that. And it gives you a specific strategy on how to manifest money, right? It tells you to pick it. It tells you what to do, when to do, how to do. So follow that. Test it for yourself, experiment with it, and prove it to your own self. I don't know why I went off on a tangent, but that's not a normal book. That's information coming from 500 people that were highly successful or that quote unquote made it. Another book, Science of Getting Rich, Wallace D. Wattles, right? It tells you about the thinking stuff, and it tells you about the importance of your thinking, and that you ought to pay more attention to what it is that you're thinking about, right? That book is written like in 1910. Then you have all these books by this author is amazing. Catherine Ponder, and Charles Fillmore, Florence Scovel Shinn. Your word is your wine. These books you all need to devour. You need to really go into there and find out about your thinking. And there's even more. Dr. Joseph Murphy and Neville had the same mentor. Dr. Joseph Murphy, incredible book, The Power of the Subconscious Mind. You ought to be devouring that book. Because whatever issues you have, relationships, health, career or business, or personal finance and economics, these books are giving you solutions. But you're going to either have to devour the books yourself, or you're going to have to hire a coach to hold you accountable to shortcut your process. Now, I don't think anybody really needs a coach, but if you're not going to do the work, meaning the inner work on yourself and then reading the book and getting the information and then applying it, integrating it, implementing it, appropriating it, and demonstrating it, then you do need a coach. If you're sick and tired of being sick and tired and you really want a different lifestyle, you want a different quality of life, you're going to have to change, right? You're going to have to get into an environment, right? Because your network is your net worth, right? The 3 to 5 people that you spend the most time with, right? You need to incorporate, right? Only quality people. You need to protect your mental asset called your brain. You need to protect your environment, and you need to protect your energy. And you need to begin to really run consistently with people that are like-minded, and then people that are driving better than you, dressing better than you, living better than you, to show you what you could have instead of giving in to the forces of average and just caving in and quitting and accepting life, being helpless and being hopeless and saying, I don't have any say so, right? You always have something you can start with, and that's gratitude, right? Gratitude, love, and unity can bring you out of any situation. This is real. So these books, right? And then you even have more. You have Earl Nightingale, right? Who coined the strangest secret, right? We become what we think about most of the time. You have Wayne Dyer that has amazing books. You have Louise Hay that has amazing books, Healing Yourself, you know what I mean? So all of this information now is free through Google. It's free on YouTube, right? But we still are in fear, and we have all these crises, and we have no one, 97% of the people or even more, can't demonstrate money, living paycheck to paycheck. I think it said 40% of people can't handle a $400 emergency expense, right? Large percentage of people don't have $1,000 in savings. But these books, these resources provide solutions, provide answers, but everybody wants to call the people that study it and get it and begin to live the good life queers, weirdos, delusional, so on and so forth. So this is where the rubber meets the road. You're either going to continue to live and give in to the force of averages and be stuck in the matrix, or you're going to stop caring about what someone else thinks, what someone else feels, and what someone else has to say about your life. They can't run their own life, so why would you let them ruin your life? Toxicity, being around people that run you down, people that are in low vibration. Nothing against everybody, anybody. Apply the golden rule, but if a person's not serving you and they're not helping you grow, they're not helping you accelerate, they're not helping you advance, you may want to consider moving around, because nothing changes unless something changes. Nothing changes unless something changes. The thing that has to change is you. This is what Neville talked about. No one to change but self. You're going to have to change you. How do you change you? By changing the way you think. You're going to have to think outside the box. You're going to have to think a little bit different, right? You're going to have to change your thought impulses. You're going to have to change your thinking patterns. You have to change your thought processes, meaning you're going to have to change your mindset. As you change your mindset through neuroplasticity, automatically, the subconscious mind will begin to accept the thoughts, and then your belief system is changed. This is the only way to change. If no one's telling you this, it's because they don't know. And then knowing this in your head instead of knowing it in your spirit, and then applying it, integrating it, implementing, appropriating, and demonstrate it consistently on a daily basis is a whole nother ball game. But imagine that you're just like a laptop computer. Imagine that you're just like the home computer unit, right? Your physical body is the hardware, right? The apps that's on the iPhone, the IG, the FB, the TikTok, the YouTube. Those are apps. Those are programs. So it is in your head. The thoughts are the programs. So you got faulty programs running in the subconscious mind. We're talking about the core level. Until you change those programs, you're going to continue to receive what you're receiving, right? Nothing changes unless something changes. Nothing changes unless something changes. The thing that has to change is you. That's your thought impulses, your thinking patterns, your thought processes, right? Your emotions, your feelings, your sensations, your story, your imaging. All of this has to change for you to change. Understand? When you begin to change these things will automatically change, right? We know that your inner world is projected and expressed outward, becomes your objective world, right? What you think about the longest grows the strongest. What you think about the longest grows the strongest. What you think up on, you draw into your life, you draw into your experience, you draw into your reality. Every day you get to choose the curse or the blessing. If you think negatively, consistently, insistently, and persistently, you're drawing the curse. If you think positively, consistently, insistently, and persistently, you're drawing the blessing. And then some of us are observing the 3D, which is recreating that, and it's pointless because that came from within you. That's old news. It's dead thoughts, it's dead beliefs, dead assumptions, dead expectations, dead perceptions, dead words, or a dead story. So you just got to really just figure out if you really want to change your life and commit. Either you go in and personally do the work, or you hire somebody that helps you do the work and that keeps you accountable. You can change. It is possible. You just have to do the work. And it starts with your thinking. Thought is driving everything. Thought created everything. We've been live on Manifest with SI Power with your host, Dwight Lee. Game changing information. I'll leave you with this quote. If one advances confident in the directions of his dreams and endeavors to live the life which he has imagined, he will meet with success unexpected in common hours. Please consider subscribing to the channel if you're getting great value out of the channel by hitting the subscribe button. And don't forget to like and comment on your favorite video.